Welcome back. It's Kovacs Report, and we're going to take a look at issue 6 of One World Under Doom, of the 9-issue event that is rolling across the Marvel books right now, or rather, apparently it is, because it doesn't seem to be making much of a wave in the rest of the Marvel books. So this event has been pretty poor, to be honest, right? Let's not mince any words here. It's been pretty poor, but this issue tries to buck that trend and is actually not too bad. So I'm going to go through it page by page, give my thoughts. As usual, please read the book first if you don't want it spoiled. Like the video if you can, and hit subscribe. That would be amazing. I appreciate it. So, like I say, I have not been a big fan of this book. It's been an absolute contrived mess of a story. Absolutely no point to it whatsoever. I mean, there was a gem of a good idea, a good concept. If only, it was original, it would have been even better, but it's not. As Doom is basically taking over the board, right? But he's done it differently this time. Instead of using force, he has made all the bad things go away. He's fixed all the world's problems. He's ingratiated the public across the lands, and Doom is a hero. Now, the heroes try to fight back as they would do. I mean, his name is Doom, right? I mean, the clue is in the name. But one by one, they're starting to believe that maybe Doom's right. Maybe Doom is the answer. The world is better, having had him, take leadership and do what he's doing. But, of course, there is a little band of heroes that know that this can't be true. So they're still trying to prove that he's a wrong one, and they've given up on trying to fight him, and they're trying to find the cold, hard truth behind Dr. Doom's rise. So Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, has challenged him, but not to a duel. No. He's challenged him to a debate, a live debate, much like those presidential debates you get over in America. And Doom's accepted, of course. Now, like I say, this book is a mixed bag. There's some really good concepts in here, but it's a little bit too late, I think. I mean, we're 6 issues in. We've had 5 boring issues up to this point. So this should have been much earlier on. Would have made it much more dynamic. Anyway, of course, Reed's there, and he's trying to goad Doom. He's trying to sort of like play with his ego, manipulate him into an upping of the ante, let's say. He's saying, listen, let's make this debate a little bit more interesting. So if I win, you step down as leader of the world, everything goes back to where it was. And so Doom's like, well, I know you're trying to trick me, but I will do this because I'm not scared. I'm not scared of anything that you have. So let's do this. So that's essentially how it kicks off. And this is also a bit of a current theme in here. So the debate begins, and Reed Richards uses logic, of course, and science and his facts to try and prove to the world and the audience that Doom is bad. But Doom, he has a very clever way of manipulating people in the sense that he appeals to our emotions. It's emotional triggers. And essentially, a lot of people vote with their heart as opposed to their head, I guess, when it comes to things like this. But Doom's winning. Doom is winning, even when Reed Richards drops the huge bomb that the Sorcerer Supreme here, Dr. Doom, knew about Blood Hunt before the events kicked off and could have prevented it from happening. Didn't. And then we get this conspiracy theory, this real world conspiracy theory that Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister of England during World War II, had prior knowledge of the Pearl Harbor attack and decided that it was better to withhold that information, because what this would do was, if the attack went ahead, it would bring America seriously into the war, and the war would end quicker with having America involved. If he didn't do that and he let them know, then it could prolong the war. So it's kind of like the sacrifice the few for the many mentality. Now, again, this is a real world conspiracy theory. There's a lot of evidence to suggest the opposite of it. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. But anyway, even so, even when that bomb is dropped, okay, Dr. Doom pleads to their emotional side, saying, yes, but think of all the people I saved by not doing that, right? I don't know. I mean, it's a bit lazy. It's a bit lazy writing, but there we go. We have it, right? So he says that his decision to keep it secret came too late for many of my people already killed under the genocidal policies of Nazism, but it would lead to others, orders of magnitude more, including my family, surviving the war. It was an impossible choice, but Churchill didn't shy away from it. He made it and he stood by it. So again, he's saying, look, Churchill did the right thing. It meant that all this other stuff could happen. We wouldn't have all the families here that we'd have here now if we stopped it. But I don't know. But again, the people are like clapping. They're like, wow, Doom, you're so amazing. You're so amazing. And I'm thinking, is that really how people will react? Is that really how people would react? I don't think so. But anyway, That's how the story's rolling. Now, we jump back to the heroes and Maria Hill, who sort of made an appearance at the last issue and pretty much does nothing this issue. I kind of expected something big from Maria. You know, she's got information. She's got a way of getting to Doom, but it's very much been downplayed here. Now, they're trying to get through this protective, like magic dome bubble around Latveria to get in there and try and find out what's going on in there and find some clues as to how Doctor Doom has managed to become the Emperor of the world. And then they figure it out. And three of our heroes, Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, and Invisible Woman, she manages to jump through the hole before it shuts, and they are in Latveria, and they head off in that direction. Now, this is where the interesting concept comes in, actually. I quite like this double-page spread. So, Doom is saying that, you know, the heroes are part of the problem. He said, when you think about it, Tony Stark's arc reactor technology could have given the world energy, clean, safe, boundless. Instead, he encases it deep within a weapon he wraps around himself, ensuring he is the only one to weld it. Hank Pym could have ended hunger in a week, an afternoon, yet your friend chose to enlarge himself. The Black Panther hoards his nation's wondrous gifts, insisting all beyond his jealously guarded borders are unready for this bounty. Storm could have consigned droughts, floods, and heat waves to history, yet she chose not to. Instead, she helped terraform Mars and kept that world for herself. Your Avengers, of which she is now a member, a leader, float above us all in a private space station, while the rest of us on Earth crawl and beg. And your mutant associates cured death, yet they never shared this cure. It was and remains an incalculable act of hate. Now, this is a very interesting concept. This should have been a mini-series in its own, you know, the people reacting to the fact that, you know, the heroes, why aren't you doing these things? That would have been really, really interesting. But this is the reasoning Doom uses to win the audience over. Of course, he's pointing out all these things and the emotional triggers. Oh, yeah, of course, yes, the heroes are bad. Doom is right. And this is where Reed really starts thinking he's lost it. Reed thinks this is not going to go the way he wants it to. But of course, we jump back to our heroes out now in Latveria. Now, they've shielded themselves and hidden themselves using magic and Sue Storm's invisibility skills. And they realise something's not right in this Latverian town, because she's noticed that this couple with their dog or whatever has been walking around. And it's done the same route and done the same actions over and over again, like it's a record, you know, that's stuck. And she goes, let's do something here. So they use a little bit of their magic or their light refracting with her skills, and it shows that it's actually a huge hologram hiding something ominous, which is this giant towering building in the middle of the city. And they say, right, let's get up there and find out what's going on. Where are the people? The town is empty. It's all been a hologram. It's all been a sham. So they get in there, and we get this big reveal, which I think is really cool, but lazy at the same time. So we find out that basically we've got this Matrix-style building where Doom has trapped all of the citizens of Latveria, and he's siphoning off their life force and their energy and everything else that they've got to power his sorcery. Now, that's why he is so powerful and so strong. It's amplifying him. So again, it is very Matrix-like, and again, it instantly demonizes Doom back to being this terrible, terrible, horrible dictator that he is. But on one note, I think it's really cool. It's a big reveal. It's like, wow, how evil. And then again, I think, well, that's a bit lazy, right? Because we've had 5 issues of Doom doing everything right, you know, proving every single step that he's made has been for the greater good of the world. And then suddenly think, oh, damn it, we've only got 3 issues left to make him the villain again, so that the heroes can come and get him and the public turns against him. So what should we do? I know, he's enslaved his entire population, which then reflects back to the Winston Churchill analogy we had earlier of, you know, you sacrifice the few for the greater good of the many. So again, I've got mixed feelings. I think this is the best issue of the whole event so far. But at the same time, I feel it's a little bit lazy. Anyway, they relay this information back to Reed, and Reed's about to show it to the world live on TV. Now, uncharacteristically, Dr. Doom loses his cool there, and he makes a leap to try and stop the projector from showing the evidence. And old Reed Richards is not happy here. Doom tries to play it off. He says, "Know this, citizens of Doom. These are volunteers, true loyalists who agreed to sacrifice themselves for the greater good of everyone else. They are heroes, men and women who, and Reed Richards, extremely pissed off, cuts them off and goes, "We are looking at children." So even the kids being used as basically batteries. Quite a visceral moment from Reed there. Okay, so Doom basically cracks. He cracks. He shows his true colors. He says, "Yes, yes, I've done it. I did it, all of this, and I would do it again. I'd do it. I do this to a million more people to obtain the glories I've achieved." And he starts really messing up Reed. You can see Mr. Fantastic here is his elasticity is going bananas. His eyes are turning green. He's really trying to, basically kill Reed Richards once and for all. You can see him suffering. And then Doom turns to the camera, and with a click of his magic, the signal gets lost. But the public have seen it. They look absolutely terrified. So I'll be honest, like I say, this is the best issue of the whole run, which has been exceptionally poor, in my opinion. But this is an interesting concept. Now, what is going to happen next? Because do you know what? I mean, obviously, Doom is an allegory for Trump here, right? Let's not kid ourselves. And this is all, again, another sort of trying to draw parallels to real world. This seeps into comics quite a lot, and that's fine. But again, you could tell the public something terrible, and they'll just go, okay, whatever, move on to the next thing. They'll gladly accept it because of the good that's been done. So, where is Ryan North going to take this? Because now we think the heroes have Doom cornered and it's all over for Doom. So what would be more interesting is the public go, fine, right? That's what it's taken to make the rest of the world brilliant. We're still with you, Doom. That would make the story more interesting. Otherwise, this is going to devolve into what it was before. Another 3 issues of the heroes fighting Doom with punch-ups and laser beams, trying to get rid of him, and it's just going to amount to nothing. I guess at the end of this, maybe they're going to take away Doom's power as the Sorcerer Supreme. Maybe he just returns back to being Doctor Doom. I don't know, but we are at the precipice here of this series actually doing something interesting or just reverting back to the usual tropes. So there we go. Again, art was lovely. I'll be honest, the art was very, very nice, especially this double-page spread. That is absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed the art on the series, at least, because that was the only thing holding up for the first 5 issues. So RB Silva, you're doing a fantastic job of the art, and I really appreciate it. And that's a cool cover too. So there we go. Those are my thoughts. Please do let me know yours, and we'll have a little chat in the comments. So until next time, read more comics, and we'll see you soon.